why is it important to have digital olfaction or have e-noses? Why is this an important step in the digital world?
I think that the main importance of this should be with the need of automation different tasks. No, for example, there is a lot of process in the food industry that the discrimination between, for example, different levels of quality is made with sensory panel. For example, the olive oil industry, the level of quality of the olive oil is performed by a sensory panel. The sensory panel is a group of perhaps 15, 20 tasters that smells the olive oil and determine the quality of it. You can imagine the problems that are in this case, no? Because as you know, the biological sense of smell is very subjective. So it depends on the sense of humor of the tasters. It also depends on if the testers are tired, if not. So it is difficult, and in this industry, there is a need for automation this process in order to have a device or a component that could be integrated in this process and try to do it in a more automatic way. No, as you can imagine, the training of a sensory panel is a very expensive task. You have to train 15, 20 people. They must be available for this task. So they are in most cases very repetitive tasks. You have to smell, check if you have a defect. If there is a defect, you can sign in. If not, you have high quality oil and so on. There is an example that with other, for example, human senses, like that has been mimicked with success in an artificial way. For example, computer vision. No, you can now in the industry there is a lot of processes that has been monitored by cameras, so you can see in a lot of process cameras that are testing the devices and check if the bottle is okay or not, if the cap is okay or not, and so on. The same for the ear, no? And it has been a process in the last 20, 30 years in which, for example, 20 years ago, we cannot imagine that our smartphone, we could scan, for example, the labels of different products, or even the device that our smartphone that can detect our face. And okay, you can sign with your face, or in the case of the human here, you can talk to our phone and say, hello, call to my mother. No, so this process has been done with success in other senses, the tactile systems also, and the sense of smell has been considered as a minor sense. The most important are the sight and the ear. Perhaps it could be the third or fourth in importance. So we try to do the same than the other senses, but in this case with a chemical sense that could be the olfaction.
Yeah, this was exactly what I was going to ask you to do, is to compare it to things that we know that are already analyzed via digital. So this is a perfect example in terms of quality assurance or quality checks, that visually a machine could analyze, okay, the label is on correctly, or a bottle is open or closed. And so in your case, what you're saying is that digital olfaction can really help us, or can be a tool for quality and for analyzing whether something is good or bad in terms of smell. So